I've been admiring your handiwork. We all have.
You put on a good show. Maybe you're not useless after all.
Our new friend surely has some questions. Perhaps we should introduce ourselves.
Name's Murphy. Head upstairs to the top floor. I've got a proposition for you.
And don't worry, we'll play nice this time.
Hey.
Gotta admit, I'm impressed. Stella here tells me this was all her little ruse. No hard feelings, huh?
I will not be recommending this place to my friends.
And a sense of humor, too. I like it. Sorry for any misunderstanding. We're a shoot first, ask questions later kind of place. Never can be too careful with looters breaking and entering these days.
Don't misunderstand. We're not criticizing you. Those were fair kills. You didn't know who we were, and we didn't know you from a random looter. Thankfully, Stella fessed up.
Hey, I was just trying to have a little fun. How was I supposed to know they weren't a common criminal?
Yeah, we're all friends now. Let's skip to the part where you help me.
That's rather presumptuous. After taking out 2 of our crew, I wasn't under the impression we owed you anything.
Well, that all depends. What kind of help are you looking for?
Hold on. I have some questions first.
All right, humor me. What do you want to know?
What do you do here?
After what you've seen, you really need me to spell it out? We're slave traders. Not gonna sugarcoat it. We deal in raiders, mostly. Capturing them, and once their spirit is broken, selling them to slave owners up and down the eastern seaboard. A few miscreants we let work for us if they show promise, but the main goal is to ship these degenerates outside the Commonwealth.
Could you tell me anything about the kid?
Stella hasn't had it easy. Her dad was never in the picture, and her mom raised her at University Point most of her life, until the Institute torched the place. I met Stella and her mom Judy after they fled to Quincy in 2285, helped them build a life for themselves there. Then the Quincy Massacre happened.
What was the Quincy Massacre?
We can get into that some other time. Let's just say that life's greatest dangers often come not from external enemies, but from our supposed friends, who pretend to work for the common cause while scheming to sabotage it. When the Minutemen betrayed Quincy, most of the residents ended up slaughtered by the gunners, Judy included. I managed to get Stella out, and we made our way north to Concord.
And that traitor Preston followed us here. I'm telling you, he was working with Clint the whole time. And now he's right down the street, and you still won't do anything about it.
We've been over this, Stella. Innocent until proven guilty. You want me to focus on keeping this place safe from the gunners? Or waste time dealing with the loudmouth fool in the silly hat?
Both. I want justice for what they did to my mom.
And like I explained, you'll get it, if you have patience. Garvey will get what's coming to him eventually. But for now... Wait, hold up. You hear that?
Emmett, I'm reading over 20 hostiles piling in through the front door downstairs. Turrets are offline.
I don't think they're gonna surrender.
These guys have stealth boys? Why don't you have stealth boys? Whoever these gunners were, you really seem to hate them.
Hi.
Hey, thanks for your help. didn't expect help from a stranger. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't been here.
This hasn't been the friendliest welcome.
Maybe you're right, but you can't be too careful these days. I think it's worth giving it another chance. We'd be glad to consider you a friend.
Hey, it was fun.
If that's what you call fun, I'm glad you're on our side.
Looks like it was your lucky day.
You can say that again. I guess it could have been a lot worse. Anyway, we appreciate the help.
Sorry we got off on the wrong foot. Not looking to cause any trouble. You weren't afraid the Gunners will retaliate?
It's gonna get worse. Way worse. Gunners never back down that quickly. They'll attack anyone they think is too weak to defend themselves. There's nothing left they're afraid of. The only way things will get better is if we stand together.
The Commonwealth is beyond saving.
Yeah, same story everywhere. Well, thanks for your help.
Hey there.
I was afraid those guys might show up. Thanks for your help. You alright?
I'll continue to help, but you owe me an explanation first.
It's complicated. What do you know about the Gunners?
Gunners are human scum that don't deserve to live.
Geez, how do you really feel? No one's really sure where the Gunners started out, but something changed about 8 or 9 years ago. Out of nowhere, they started sporting plasma weapons, advanced combat gear, and even vertibirds. Doesn't make any sense. Where did they get all that stuff from?
That's a good question. I guess... I don't know.
People bitch about the Institute, but look at what's really been going on. Quincy, GNN, Mass Bay Medical, Mass Fusion, 2 vaults, and all the major freeways. It's the Gunners, not the Institute, who've been gaining the most ground in the Commonwealth.
How much of a threat are they?
No one invests the resources to capture those strategic locations without a larger agenda. Someone's behind it. We're just not sure who or what. At this point, there's not much to keep the Gunners from taking Good Neighbor, Diamond City, or the towns up north.
Is there a reason that you're bringing this up?
You mean besides the fact that we just got ambushed here in Concord? There needs to be a group to stand up to these assholes. Someone strong, organized, and local. And I'm not talking about the Minutemen. I mean someone with real stones.
So, what did you have in mind? I'm gonna need some more in the way of details.
Ultimately, you gotta ask yourself who you want protecting things. A bunch of Muppets who can't defend what's theirs, or hardened killers who can handle themselves.
Well, I hadn't thought of it that way.
Uncertainty is sometimes better than an overt threat. If you build a reputation for being a little crazy, your opponents are never sure what messing with you will cost. So, they tend to avoid finding out.
Settlers can't instill that kind of fear. Whether it's against raiders, synths, mercs, super mutants, or even mole rats. They've proven time and again that they're incapable of deterring threats to their property over the long term. The Minutemen worked for a while, but they ended up self-destructing.
What happened to the Minutemen?
Depends who you ask. The challenge with running a militia is that volunteers inevitably have their own agendas. For a coalition to last, there needs to be a chain of command where members don't feel too constrained by your influence.
But still fear you enough to follow your lead.
Maintaining morale requires convincing soldiers to think less about themselves and more about the group. Involve them in a cause, a crusade against a hated enemy, and make them see their survival as tied to the success of the militia as a whole.
Of course, it's easier said than done.
Somewhere along the way, we lost that sense of common purpose. Infighting took over, and the militia gradually splintered into different groups. Some became raiders or joined the Gunners. Others just disappeared. Quincy was the final blow, and now we're back at square one.
Jesus, what a mouthful. What's the plan again?
If your enemy is big and you're small, then by extension, you're fast and they're slow. You're hidden and they're exposed.
The Gunners are calculated and cautious. It's gonna take them a while to figure out what just happened, which provides us an opening. The critical elements in any campaign are speed and adaptability, making decisions faster than the enemy can.
Their nearest outpost is up on the freeway, southeast of Walden Pond. That's likely where the attack came from. The freeway wasn't particularly well guarded to begin with. Probably even less so after the raid.
I want you to head over there, take out their remaining guards, and steal their weapons, so we can fortify our presence here in Concord. Prove to me you can handle that task, and I'll have a larger project for you when you return.
Better hope this gun Murphy gave you works. Okay, so it works. They're worse than raiders. Doesn't explain why you hate them so much, though. You better hope you've got enough ammo for these stolen valor clowns.
Oh, yeah!
Isn't this the same gun Murphy gave you? These fools had ammo coming out of their ears, just over 1,000 rounds for your gun.
And if you want bonus points, there's rumor of a raider stash over by Corvega. We'll mark the location on your map.
These raiders don't stand a chance. Make it quick before you get too much sand up your nose.
Hey,
Wasn't sure you were gonna make it back in one piece. Any trouble out there?
I've been having too much fun blowing things up to think about it.
That's the spirit. Here, got you a little something for the trouble. Let me know when you're ready for the next job.
Any news on your side?
Just been cleaning things up here from the raid. Speaking of which, if you want to lend a hand, feel free to use the workshops around here. There's one on the first floor and also a second one in the bunker. Have a look around and make yourself comfortable.
Not the seeking comfort type, are you, Emmett?